Bonjour à la rediffusion YouTube. Bon, pour l'instant, il n'y a personne en live, donc je ne vais pas dire bonjour à personne. Mais donc, rediffusion YouTube, bonjour. Alors, j'en étais où? Alors, ce qui va être comique, c'est qu'à l'heure où je live sur cet épisode numéro 3 de Disco Elysium, qui est une pure bombe, comment dire, bah, vous n'avez pas le 2. Sur la chaîne, il n'y a que l'épisode 1. Par contre, je me vois... Oh, la pluie, mais c'est trop bien foutu. C'est trop bien foutu. Je me pose parce qu'il y a le temps qui défile. Je vais juste me rétrécir encore un tout petit peu, histoire que je prends pas trop la place. Voilà, ça devrait être bon pour vous. Du coup, on était arrivé ici, mais c'est un super jeu. C'est un jeu avec une narration qui est juste exceptionnelle, quoi. Ça, c'est quoi, ça? Alors, je m'étais arrêté là, donc je visite. Je privilégie la qualité. Il y a une pile de lunettes de soleil, bon marché. Vous aimez les lunettes, monsieur? Le vendeur vous tend une paire de lunettes sous le nez.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth. Go over and ask him.
Je vais essayer les lunettes.
These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face.
Elle vous pince le nez et vous irrite les sourcils.
Damn, officer, you look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real.
Non, 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 t'es ouf, toi.
Perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your face.
Ah, c'est excellent. En fait, je viens de me rendre compte qu'il se parle à... Enfin, c'est savant lui, mais il y a le sang-froid et l'électrochimie qui se fait.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
C'est à moi d'essayer. Moi, j'aime bien ces lunettes. Vous avez raison, je ne suis pas du genre à faire des folies. Et je perdrai un de logique.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that
Marché
melts
sur
in
le...
the sun.
D'accord.
Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils.
Oh non, le boulet.
Magnified.
J'ai oublié des sucrets. Il y a le temps qui défile. Le temps défile dans le jeu. C'est horrible. C'est vrai, il est midi 14, désolé. Hop. D'accord. Il y a peut-être des lunettes de réessayer, il y a peut-être... J'ai réussi. Ah, je vois une paire de lunettes bleu azur. Sur la branche gauche, il y a écrit fond marin. La monture semble avoir été sculptée dans l'os.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
Père, vous regardez.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster.
Occulte, étrangement bienveillante. Le monde est bleu.
Strangely all right. But these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater.
Wow, officer, you look so cool. And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular
Les habitués les ont boudés.
because they've got no taste.
Ouais, je suis censé être dans une enquête et j'essaye des lunettes de soleil, quoi.
Tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's
D'accord,
at least
il est à fond dans son rôle, lui, alors.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician.
Vous avez l'air d'un musicien, déclare-t-il.
Take them if you want.
Un en perception. Ok, bon, on va prendre congé pour l'instant.
You see 2 lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors.
I can see you got taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Non.
Speaking of luxury, You should go over and ask about paying for those sneakers with your net worth. A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers.
De 50, j'en ai que 2.
Super fine.
Only? That's madness. Found ultra. Wear the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine?
Ouais, je veux bien, mais non.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, Solidarity
Les
Aid from
républicains
the
samouraïs,
People's
les
Republic
haut-parleurs
of
n'ont pas
Somalia.
l'air de posséder un quelconque pouvoir magique.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't.
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
No way, officer. These are
Ils sont pas en vente, c'est de la merde.
speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. Well, if you want them, but see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first.
Ah, va falloir acheter des baskets. Ouais, dans tes rêves. Mais en fait, il a un présentoir de plein de trucs, lui.
Inside, cheap second-hand clothes.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics.
Style rétro. Je prends juste s'il y a un impair.
How about some premium class service over here? Like paying with Save the Economy? That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer?
Mais pas au courant, il faut avoir des consciences économiques recyclées.
Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new. Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? That's good, officer.
You find your hands deep.
Alors, est-ce qu'on a un imperméable et tout?
Made. The box smells like cat piss or like an old.
Ah, ça pue la pisse à chat, quoi.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold
Ouais, j'ai réussi.
raises your hand. Synthetic and sleek, a windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100%
D'accord.
waterproof.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty.
Coupe
And
vent.
it's only for
Ah bah... Je peux pas lui parler à lui, putain.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes,
Attendez, il neige, là?
his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The
Il y a
name
3 secondes, il pleuvait.
Ceiling is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Mhm.
happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
Hmm.
Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool. You're very cool.
Il se sert de ses doigts pour imiter un pistolet et faire semblant de tirer plusieurs coups de feu en l'air.
You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown? Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you? Then fire away, officer.
Alors, je vous écoute. Il s'installe confortablement sur la pile de cartons. Quel type de marchandise? Pourquoi?
Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too.
La liberté avant tout.
Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom.
Alors ça en fait j'ai pas tout compris ce que c'était. Je peux intérioriser en fait. Donc là retour solitaire à la maison, je peux faire ça, j'ai vu. Mais là c'est tout ce que j'ai en fait, j'ai pas d'autre chose en fait. Écoutez.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the
Temps d'apprécier
sidewalks
autre temps
strewn with
chèque.
sunflower seeds and a dust-choked.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel
D'accord,
like
tout le monde peut installer une boutique comme il veut.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are
it. If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I am not, however.
my man, officer. You make all this possible. Without you.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance
Une toile
consisting
fait
of
penser à un
cobwebs
système
spun by
si-
small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
Yeah. Cool ruins. I get to sell quality goods like these by cutting out the middlemen.
Il suffit de vivre dans un cratère ou dans un arbre.
Live in a
Il
crater.
désigne un arbre, aucune autre ville n'offre autant de liberté.
You're pretty sure you can live in a tree elsewhere too, but he wouldn't believe it anyway.
Donc en gros il peut faire ce qu'il veut quoi.
I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers. Oh, no need for discounts at ceilings, officer.
50% pour des chaussures à 50, attends.
But did he first mark them up 100% just so that he could put them on sale?
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. Anything for you. You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook?
No,
Il les a volés.
there's a little of a hassle here, it appears. A moral hassle.
No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers.
Wait, Humanex, humanitarian aid.
What?
Comme si c'était la première fois qu'il envoyait
A
un.
convincing performance. Bravo.
Look, officer, I'm just a retailer. You'd have to talk to my supplier if you got questions about the supply chain.
Interesting.
D'accord.
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now.
This man probably comes from
Cet
Seagull,
homme est sans doute des
sometimes known
hommes
as
appelés
the
parfois.
Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola. Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
That's right, officer. But it's a bad scene for business there. Too many regulations. Extremely bad for an independent local entrepreneur. Hey, why not support this local entrepreneur? You can start by buying a pair of sexy pants.
J'espère que ça va
No
marcher.
need to
Ah,
dress this one up. Just tell him what you.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? Ah, yes. Money is very important.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective.
mince, bah oui. En fait, là, j'ai essayé d'avoir un pot de vin, ça n'a pas marché. Ah bah le premier épisode, il était épique parce que j'ai eu carrément une action que je m'attendais pas du tout à ça et du coup, ça m'a mis dans la mouise, hein, on va pas se le cacher. Mais il y a beaucoup à faire en fait, à visiter tout, je trouve, c'est énorme. Pourquoi ça a zoomé? Le panneau est tombé. C'est quoi ça?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant
Au milieu,
holes.
vous avez
In the middle is a lever. This panel usually closes the water lock. turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
On va quand même le...
Pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against, but nothing happens. The spring brings the lever back to its original position.
On a
You still
une tâche
need to close
obtenue.
the water lock to get across the canal. Some
Fermer
other way.
l'écluse, mercredi. D'accord, d'ici mercredi, on pourra. Ok. Alors ça, c'est assez comique.
Wasn't there a sign over there saying
On va parler à lui.
a burly man
Un homme musclé traînant aux côtés de l'écluse se coupe une bonne tranche de saucisson avec un vieux couteau de chasseur. Bah, il y en a de la veine, lui.
His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed.
Est-ce que je pourrais avoir un morceau de saucisson?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
D'accord.
Yeah, not really much else. It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Safety measure. Turns out the
D'accord,
panel
ouais,
needs a
par
special
mesure de
key to be
sécurité, ils ont
reactivated.
tout coupé, quoi.
It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honors when the time comes? Great. Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to.
Alors je dois revenir, il paraît que l'équipe de sera là à 7h15. D'accord, putain, bah ça va être de bonne heure.
Sure thing.
Il coupe une tranche de saucisson.
It is salty.
Santé
It is
récupérée.
savory. It is chewy.
D'accord, en mangeant du saucisson, ça te régénère la vie.
Want
C'est
some
trop
too,
cool.
officer?
Why not?
Ok. Alors là, je vais essayer de rentrer. Je sais pas si on peut. On peut, visiblement. Bah, je sais que j'ai plusieurs trucs d'enquête et tout, hein, mais en fait là, je suis vraiment captivé par la découverte du lieu. Oh my god, c'est quoi tout ça? Une sorte de machine, une ancienne caisse enregistreuse. Il est midi 52, j'ai toujours pas été inspecter le cadavre. Le bus d'une femme est inscrit sur la plaque. Un projecteur ronronne dans l'obscurité. Ah, il y a un Jean là derrière son truc. C'est quoi ça ici?
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you. The antlers on the hood of the man's cloak and his piercing blue eyes.
It's the man from Hendal.
Walking away from his burning village. Yes. Ah. The man from Yelmdale is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Kotla. Mostly what is nowadays Arda NFD. In fact, most people don't think that man from Yelmdale ever really existed. But they are wrong.
D'accord. D'accord, d'accord.
Hendal isn't a real place.
Neither is the man
D'accord.
a real man, of course. But both the man and Hjelmdal are an ontological necessity.
Bah on va pas se
Wow.
quereller.
What?
I mean, even if the man from Hjelmdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has.
Okay.
Ah d'accord, il paraît.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All
Café
that's
fini.
required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect.
Vous avez l'air sceptique.
Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hjelmdal,
and watched northern lights travel across the sky.
It's for the best, because Eamdal is not a real place, and his theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural act.
2 real.
Oh, c'est cher.
Dirt cheap.
But why?
Hmm.
I sympathize, I do. But this is a for-profit enterprise.
Bon bah je laisse tomber.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your copo type. Guess. No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the Advanced
Ah oui,
Interesting
d'accord.
Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop. But no you don't. Come on, you'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance.
On va te faire mettre.
What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I
Ah, y a
think
peu de
they'll
chance.
be
Bah
fine.
ça tu m'étonnes.
They'll be super, super fine. Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then.
Bah tu m'as jugé un peu trop vite. 13 heures.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my... What can I do for you? I haven't had any problems myself. though
Ce
some
sont
of my
plein
customers have
de
complained
dérives
about it.
Who
policières.
are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people
Bah,
looking
c'est
for a
space quand même
deal,
comme truc.
people looking for a keepsake. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some entertained. He might be high. If he is, on what? Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
Alors...
Prolodon is just something I was with the emergency relief
Le score de
brigade.
chance, fallait que j'en
Had to
prenne
take it
pour
for
lutter contre les
He's
radiations.
taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fight.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator.
Alors désolé, hein, je
in
parle pas
hopes of
beaucoup dans
bringing
le jeu là,
renewable
mais
electricity to
parce que je lis
underserved
beaucoup.
communities.
Enfin, je lis, mais je
Malfunction.
parle pas derrière.
Radioactive waste everywhere.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing a primitive nuclear reactor. Construction began during the commune of Revachol. Needless to say, things didn't. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up.
À la fois
and
une
the
conception
explosion,
défectueuse,
both
un manque de
faulty
financement.
design and lack of
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. So much disappointment and early death. No one's. Everyone's. A bunch of poor people built themselves. The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died, so I came to Martinez. I like the theory more than the story.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any question. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you...
This is a pawn,
Oh!
and it did feel as if you've met before.
C'est une boutique de prêteurs sur gage et tu as effectivement l'impression de l'avoir déjà rencontré.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer.
Ah non, attendez,
Said
c'est
you
quoi
were
là?
undeserving
Cherchez votre
of
arme. Bah on a trouvé un
service
truc
in
sur
the
le...
Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to
poularde.
herself as a pig, which was odd. Truth be told, she was...
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm. You killed by the
Peut-être jouer les
citizens
justicières et prouver
militia,
que...
and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it.
Ah mais c'est trop cool, on apprend des choses sur nous, c'est...
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force.
Vous avez raison, elle pourrait coller...
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea what...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it.
Of course. Sure thing. Sure, man.
Eh
Hey.
bien...
Psst. Psst. Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25... Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it? Failure. It's about failure. Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 you against the atom, the charm where the whole world failed. Now get to work, comrade.
Vas-y, je veux.
Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You can't make it.
Alors du coup là on a des réflexions qu'on débloque, hein. On peut pas déverrouiller. Alors là j'ai un retour solitaire qui est en cours. En fait ça se fait tout seul, d'accord. Ah oui. L'économie sociale, flingue digital. Alors est-ce que je peux mettre là mon flingue digital? Ouais mais ça va changer celui-là, non? Non, je crois que ça, je peux le mettre alors du coup. Deuxième. Écoutez, on va voir ce qu'on va faire avec ça. Bon, On a fouillé les lieux, on a appris quelque chose qui était vraiment pas prévu. Alors je vais essayer de parler à mon collègue, mais c'était vraiment pas prévu de retomber sur ça en fait. Sur l'arme. Et voilà, on sait qu'on l'a vendu, que c'est une femme qui l'a racheté. Et du coup, j'ai perdu un point de morale. J'ai perdu un point de morale. Ça, c'est pas. Ça, par contre, c'est pas bon. Alors, pas bon du tout. Je sais pas ce que ça fait quand on perd tout le moral. Alors, ce côté-là, on a vu. Alors ça, tout ce côté-là, en fait, qu'on a vu vers le haut, c'est dans l'épisode 2 qui sortira prochainement. Par contre, ici, ouais, j'avais pas regardé, donc il y a encore plein de gens à... Il y a encore plein de gens, en fait, à parler et tout, mais ce jeu n'en finit jamais, en fait. Dans la poubelle, je sais plus si je l'avais déjà fouillé. Ah, c'est une boîte aux lettres, pardon.
RCM Emergencies Desk. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. The mail collection box seems...
Ah, moral récupéré. Ah, c'est cool.
So do you.
J'ai récupéré mon moral. Ah, mais ça, c'est juste excellent, ça. Alors, faut faire très attention dans ce jeu, parce qu'on peut perdre vite le moral sur la couleur de... Vous voyez. Mais là, il neige, quoi. Mais c'est ouf. Il neige, quoi. Mais regardez, c'est grand. On voit pas trop de quoi se parle, on n'a aucune importance. Allez, la culture. On peut aller dans la boutique, en plus. On peut aller dans la boutique, carrément, quoi. Un rond-point nord, vers le rond-point nord, ouais. Sur la publicité écrite, fenêtre brisée. D'accord. Alors c'est pas un jeu qui va plaire à tout le monde parce qu'il y a justement t'as ça, c'est que t'as beaucoup de dialogue en fait. Vous entendez les cris des mouettes. Lui il a gerbé aux fraises. Le mur est criblé de balles. C'est peut-être moi qui ai tiré, hein, maintenant je serai... C'est peut-être même sûr que c'est... Viens là, c'est là que je veux prendre. Il y a un truc à prendre. Oh bah cool. Bon lui il est saoul, mon ami on peut pas lui parler. C'est toujours là de la situation. Alors ici j'étais venu. Pourquoi j'ai eu un truc rouge là? Là. J'ai eu le machin rouge, mais je peux pas le revoir. Attends, déjà, il y a le collègue qui m'énerve. Ah, là, je l'ai eu. Attendez, on ressort. C'est un peu ouf. Ah, là. C'est un livre érotique, mais sans scène érotique. Ah, c'était pour ça, d'accord. Bonjour, monsieur. Entrez, nous sommes ouverts. Une jeune fille aux joues bien rouges vous fait...
In a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir.
C'est une librairie, monsieur. Vendons des livres, des cartes postales, des biographies, d'accord.
Books, postcards, easy. Even a kid would know all of this. Don't be a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any question. My name is Annette, sir.
Annette.
My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside, minding the register. Or feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character.
Ça forge de caractère.
A proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business is ever... Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
We can go
Nous
into
pouvons
the
entrer et poser
bookstore
des
and
questions au
look
sujet
at
de
the
l'enquête,
place.
mais je ne vois pas trop ce
But
que l'on
I
pourrait
don't see
inspecter
much
d'autre.
more.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. No such thing.
Anything? Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things. And you don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head, yes.
No, you're
Ton
mine.
esprit.
Not head, child. Heads.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
You fell
Ah.
to the juice. She waits intently.
It's okay, sir.
You disappoint
Ah, je
yourself,
repère mon
child.
point de morale du
Well
coup.
done, Jem.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though. That's a friendly enough face, most of the time. Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and... I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Okay, sir. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has... Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself. But those are unhappy books for most of the pages.
Eh ben,
People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides that's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy
D'accord.
in the end. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No, I don't know. Yes, she knows books.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere. Later, when you get the chance, you should address these issues by getting drunk. That'll show them.
Maybe some about other books?
ok. Bon, on va rentrer. Alors, ce qui est bien, c'est qu'on découvre toujours une parcelle, Bon, là, par contre, j'ai perdu du moral pour rien, en fait. Ah, c'est ouf. Putain, pourtant, j'étais à 83%. Alors, du coup, je vais faire une petite save au cas où qu'il m'arrive un pépin. Donc, ça, c'est la mer. On va d'abord examiner la bibliothèque. Enfin, la librairie. qu'il y a beaucoup de...
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types and endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path books in a board games section. Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral 3rd edition mega setting supplements module. The side panel
Le
notes
autocollant indique le prix 25.
that price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega setting supplement. So it
Wonderful board games, sir. Rowbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, I've heard they turn people into a...
Livre à offrir et bonbons fondus.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring rows and rows of Yamdala men. Blur your vision. Maybe 100? Man, not even close. Man from Hyamdal in hell. Man from Hyamdal
Douleur
and the
transcendée
forest of
intermédiaire.
slaves. Man from Hyamdal under the lake. Mountains of it. Heroic quantities of...
Je vais pas faire le truc parce que je pense que pour moi ça sert à rien. C'est quoi ça là derrière? Un rideau.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck. Bad inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands. Down. Aside from poking at it suspiciously,
On va ignorer le rideau pour l'instant. Ça sert à rien.
these shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective book. Crime fiction is a disgrace. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up.
Il faut que je trouve encore en plus en tâche de l'argent pour dormir à l'hôtel.
Year after year, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the... Yes, there's also the Dame Tragedy Calls. For after all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title, a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Then this is the book for you.
Ouais, il coûte cher.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even you're a police officer.
Désolé, mais ça coûte trop cher là. Ah. Tout le monde sait bien que tout était intéressant, j'avais pas vu.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime,
Sir, please, no, I can't have you end up.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, wholeness, unity, balance, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. There's even a chapter.
Ça, il y a beaucoup de choses, hein. Il y a beaucoup de lectures.
On the shelf reads.
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic. Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person.
You feel like you should get this one? Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside. Browsing through all the books with all their names, suddenly, a particular high-speed love chronicles the romance between two of the next to Irv's life story. You see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a run-down drug den.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush.
Bah, je vais rien t'acheter, déjà ça coûte super cher. On va plutôt t'interroger, il est déjà 14h19.
Welcome to crime, romance and biographies of fame. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good, sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund.
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
Those countries will realize they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation.
Bah mais non.
Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her.
what in God's name is she talking about?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
J'ai envie d'ouvrir ce rideau là, qui est intriguant, mais on reviendra plus tard parce que j'ai déjà perdu mon moral. J'ai pas envie de continuer plus à le perdre. J'ai une tâche en fait, je me suis mis dans le truc, c'était de... Tiens d'ailleurs, faut que je regarde un truc parce que là je crois que j'ai un gros coup de lag en fait sur le live et tout. Je suis pas sûr que ce soit super fluide. Alors je regarde ça vite fait.
À dire, je comprends pas ce que tu veux dire pour les jeunes enfants.
Alors attendez, je regarde ça. Ah en effet. En effet. En fait, je crois que j'ai ma voix en décalage. Je crois. Hein. Si je dis pas de bêtises, j'ai ma voix en décalage. Et ça, ce serait encore à cause de la caméra. Et je vous le dis, la propriété de caméra, c'est un truc de fou. Et là, je crois que voilà, là c'est réglé. Ça va remodifier. Normalement, là c'est réglé. Si je regarde le stream, là c'est réglé. Là c'est réglé. Ok. Ça marche. Ok. On va continuer à visiter le lieu. Oh, il y a quelque chose là. Ah oui, c'est la longue vue. Pas la longue vue. Le télézoom.
The instruction manual. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
Mais je l'ai fini ça, cette...
They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was... We should have done something about the union 10
Allez,
years.
je vais dépenser un
Your money
truc.
disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Finger pistol,
Ah, ça y est, la réflexion.
9mm. Snap, snap,
Pampan amigo, en vérité, les pistolets ne servent pas tant qu'à protéger.
as they are for attacking people. If you want to protect people, really work for them, you have to whip out your signature.
D'accord. Et du coup, là maintenant, je peux changer pour autre chose. Ah, je peux l'oublier. Ah, c'est une fois que je l'ai, en fait, d'accord, ça la garde. Problème, solution. D'accord. Et bien, il me semblait que j'avais déverrouillé un autre truc, alors du coup. Bah, du coup, je sais pas si je veux faire le truc. Bon, écoute, on va laisser ça pour l'instant. On va remonter. Alors, je dois regarder aussi un truc, c'est si ça marche toujours, ouais. Ça, c'est un commandant solitaire, regarde la mer. Ah, c'est quoi ça? Appartement, quoi. Là où il y a un homme. Ah ouais, non mais le truc, il est mort. J'ai cru qu'il y avait une carte. C'est ici. Empathie terrifiant, légendaire. Fenêtre brisée. C'est quoi ça en fait? Douleur transcendée. C'est vrai qu'il faut pas que j'oublie le... C'est fermé. Et là c'est quoi? On dirait du sang ou de la peinture qui a coulé. Oh! Il y a une mini-cour!
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Sauf je peux pas là, j'ai un truc faible. Ah, le pendu il est là. Et ça c'est magnésium, pardon. Je vais me le prendre. Voilà. Mon moral est revenu. Il faut que j'aille en haut en fait. La cour du pendu. Des chaises et des tables rongées par la pluie. Un autre mur criblé de balles. Il s'agit juste d'une porte fermée. Mais vous la contemplez avec méfiance. D'accord. Ah. Pour être un témoin, parlez-lui. Bah oui, pour être un témoin, il faudra que je trouve. Et là, il y a un enfant qui est en train de jouer avec le cadavre. On va aller voir le cadavre. Enfin, en tout cas, on a vu qu'il est en train de jouer avec. 14h30. Mais avant, je vais aller quand même parler à l'autre, au barman encore. Parce qu'il y a... Ouais, c'est dedans. Parce qu'il y a quelque chose qui pourrait être intéressant de faire en tâche, là, si ça peut marcher. Oh! Il y a une nouvelle... Ah, mais attendez! Il y a des nouveaux gens! Une bouteille de rhum a été renversée.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your... What happened, man? You used to be... Get your drink on and your act together.
J'ai une tâche où je dois boire, trouver de l'alcool et le boire. Non. Alors lui, il dort. Un homme dort, la tête sur la table et porte des bottes recouvertes de boue.
A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John. The man does not mind. You probably
On a un objet de soin et de
more
morale
than
au
he
cas où.
does.
Alors, on va pas faire de choses stupides. Et pourquoi je peux pas lui parler, lui? Ah, les cuisines sont ouvertes. On va reparler là parce que...
Can I help you? God.
Oh, but he should be. Lay it on him.
Ah bon, non, c'est... Oh là là là.
Of course you do. This was your plan.
Wonderful.
It is. It's wonderful.
What? What does that mean? Cock carousel? God, does it mean you talked to her? What else did she say about me?
What else do you need? The man leans his hands on the counter and sucks.
She broke the bird, you know. The great skewer. I found it on the ground. I should have known. It was her way of telling me to piss off.
Or you broke the bird. It can also be that. I think Sylvie even. Yes, the bird is connected to this. It's a symbol of hope, and she broke it.
Cock carousel. I think I understand now. That's what they ride the cock carousel until the clock runs out. Here, have the rest.
Donc j'ai réussi une tâche. Ouais mais j'ai pas du tout...
Now let me have a drink and
And there we have it. Isn't that?
can I help you? What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. They come here in the evenings, dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
Ils ne sont pas là aujourd'hui, mais ils finiront par partir le bout de leur nez.
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Absolutely out.
Absolutely in the question. First, your body is ready, sire.
Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the room and broken window? Oh, like what?
Bon, j'ai joué les Cupidons du coup, mais je sais pas si c'est... Oh. Des pièces d'alcool tomates flottent dans l'air.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a...
It's hardly a side investigation. You already have a name for it.
Gart is the person to ask about this.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch.
Du coup, je dois
The
explorer les
stainless
passages
steel
secrets.
door
Ah, c'est un
is
passage.
flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint. The door does not budge.
J'ai eu une bouteille d'alcool. Ben ouais, mais ça va me foutre au moral. Ça, je peux la vendre. Je peux la vendre au prêteur sur gage.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood. As you step in, he nods to the table and says something in a completely foreign language. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. The man puts his cup down and replies something. His left hand drawing arcs in the... He looks up at you, then looks away quickly. Shrugging is an international sign for. He smiles and bangs his lathe. It's almost like music. The man ponders his cooking.
C'est tout. Je vais aller reparler au barman.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not awesome, boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me... So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times. Yes?
Voilà, 3 points de vie. En fait, je vais un peu augmenter ma vie, tout ça. Ça va être pas mal. Donc, on a pu aller voir les cuisines. Ok, bon, bah, j'ai joué les Cupidons. Est-ce qu'on va reparler à Sylvie? Est-ce qu'on peut faire ça? Est-ce qu'on peut aller reparler à Sylvie? On va tenter de reparler. Je sais pas si ça vaut le coup, en fait, elle m'a envoyé paître. Elle m'a clairement envoyé paître. Hein.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty. No, these tracks are not into a cop habit. You look, this isn't case related.
Bon, ça n'a pas marché, mais c'est pas grave. Oh, il y avait un enfant ici, je l'avais pas vu.
This trash container is locked. Maybe you're prioritizing it.
We could try using a pry bar, or we could ask for a key from the
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea. No matter how strong you think you are.
Bon, en même temps, je sais pas pourquoi je l'ai fait. Ouvrir la... Putain, les tâches, ils s'enchaînent, je trouve. Ils s'enchaînent énormément. Cool. Magnésium, pardon. Ça s'appelle pas mal.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, eternite. It's nothing. So glad you asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented eternite in the Vatna because of its rhythmic pattern.
Je suis en train de rater tous mes tests. De toute façon, je pense qu'on va pas tarder.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hob. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted.
Maybe.
Oh, j'ai réussi.
No. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes. 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46. You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. 5. Another standard work boot. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace. Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gate is undeveloped. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it. And 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight 8. And yet another standard work.
Du coup, ouais, les bottes là, 200 kilos.
There's an aberration in the pattern of the soul.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? 200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying...
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between 2 men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see? Interesting. Let's name it the someone operating a workbench with a pedal, like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? A woman or a kid? Okay, how do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
Understood. Anything else? A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could...
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. The lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's...
Either way. What else?
C'était pas mal cette séquence. Mais en tout cas les amis, on va se quitter ici pour cet épisode. Je vous dis donc à la prochaine pour la suite et portez-vous bien. Ciao. Et l'épisode 2 arrive bientôt, bien entendu.